Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
I gotta turn this off. I can't turn it off.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
This is crazy, man. Like I just have no words for any of this that's going on. I really freaking don't, cause this is so many stories behind everybody, and she doesn't know
Maybe
anything
she was
about
afraid
it.
I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Wow. I don't even want to know what's in
Trying to bury something that's still alive.
So they live literally next to a train track.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2. I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Walter, man. Rest in peace to almost every family.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Passed away.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
Most likely.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
You know, she's not wrong
What
about
kind of
that.
family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Damn, man.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Wow.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now.
I'm just
Part of me
speechless.
thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
I'm just very speechless, guys, honestly.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Bitch. No wonder your stomach is big. And what? She's 16? Did she said? Or 17? And pregnant? Alright.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Intense how?
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
I could tell by all the animals here. I mean, specifically this bear. And all the guns and all that. Interesting.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Yeah.
Nothing quite like being outside.
Is he somewhere in the woods?
Oop. A little more gas in the tank, I guess. Hey!
That's a keeper. Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Sure. I thought you were the one that's more interesting to photograph.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. Maybe.
Oh,
Dad!
Good eyes, Don.
a deer.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I.
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn!
Holy shit. Huh. Yeah, sure. Take a
I'm
picture.
proud of
that.
you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
She didn't want to
Sorry,
do that.
Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
silly.
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think.
Dad!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Oh my god. 6. I'm missing 6 more people to check out. Jeez. Wasn't expecting him to die like
Sam
that.
spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Yeah, definitely. I just found this, to be honest.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Wow.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Bebe. The baby. Wee. Okay, good thing we can't see our oh.
Nap time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
I noticed the whale just staring at him at that. Fuck, this is so cool.
Whatever it was, he saw.
I think I know what I need to do. Do, 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 do.
Sure made him happy.
I feel like I have to do something with this thing. But like I can't figure it out.
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us
Oh no.
about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand
Maybe drown.
about Gregory. About everything.
I'm the frog now.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Jeez, man. A year old. So sad.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea.
Damn. This is just deep, man. Some of these things are just very deep.
Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I
I now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Crash. The wedding.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Damn. What a kid.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Oh no.
Rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Didn't even care about this kid.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam.
Oh damn.
But I didn't. Until we found you.
Bro, what the heck, man?
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Jesus, man. All this terrible incident. You know, it's just crazy.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
I'm 22 weeks pregnant and
At
I'm
the time,
climbing.
It was as far away as she could get.
Jeez, man.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
That's good.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
I wonder why.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Let's dive in. The footprints, though.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush. I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
This is
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
It's crazy, man. Oh, come on. I have to go around now. This game is just so fascinating, man. There's just no words to describe how amazing this game is right now. Like, I'm enjoying every little bit of it.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Look at that, yes. A PlayStation type looking thing. It's interesting.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Wonder why.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh shit. What the hell?
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. He took it very seriously.
This is so
I had
confusing to
hoped he'd find
control.
himself.
But very, very interesting.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Hey, doggy.
on the edge of a city he named Louis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
So hard to do two things at
And
once,
songs
man.
for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
I'm sorry I'm so silent throughout this whole thing. It's just so interesting just to listen.
He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Oh crap.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Okay. Handsome queen. Isn't it supposed to be the other way around? A beautiful queen?
The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He followed the sound of her silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Oh God.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
God, the frame rates. The frame
For someone who'd
rates.
never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him. that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
This is his workplace.
He began to forget the world we know.
Oh no.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Oh no.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
I thought he was going to do something bad, but he didn't. Okay, good.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Damn, he's been beheaded.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Looks like we're missing 2 more people that's left. This is just crazy, man. The amount of death that she has experienced throughout her whole family lifetime is
On the way
just...
back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
You just can never know.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
She just didn't want to keep memories, I'm assuming.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Imagine trying
It
to...
had to end one way or another.
Imagine trying to go all the way downstairs just to
All
eat
that's
dinner.
left now was to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born.
Oh, damn.
That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
Every day of your life.
But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered.
That's all you could do.
I started seeing things.
Dear.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Bed.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
It's
Mom,
gonna
you're
rip.
gonna rip it.
It's
Let
gonna rip.
go.
It's gonna rip. It's gonna rip. It's gonna rip. It's gonna rip.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
That's BS, man.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
That's tough.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
What are you talking about?
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh, crap, man. Wow. That was fascinating. I have literally no words to even describe how amazing and heartwarming this game was. I had my doubts, to be honest, playing this game. But I'm actually really happy I played it. And just experienced every little thing. That's crazy. I actually really loved this game. I really did. It's such an amazing story behind it, and it's such an amazing... It's just amazing in general. Like I said, it's just so many... I just have no words for it, because it's just crazy how all these stories wind up to every single family's death. Some old, some very, very young that was only 1 year old and was a baby. And every single of the Finch family died. And it's weird, it's so bizarre knowing that was the case. But I actually really did enjoy this game. I know I was quiet for a good long time. A good long time, but it was basically just a storytelling. You know, it was just a game telling me a story, pretty much. And I enjoyed every single one of that story. Listening to it and just experiencing every single bit of it and just feeling all that emotion and just that craziness that the whole family went through. It's just a lot to take in, and it was just nuts to just witness, you know. I actually did enjoy it, really. I really did. And if you guys literally want to play this game for yourself, it is free for the Xbox, only if you have the Game Pass, but for PC I believe it's about 20 bucks, and honestly guys, it is very, very worth it. I enjoyed every bit of it. Even though it was a short game, I played it throughout with no break. It was about an hour and 50 minutes, almost 2 hours long. But I'm pretty sure you guys are watching this as 2 parts pretty much. And yeah, that was amazing, guys. That was Edith Finch, the remain of Edith Finch. I enjoyed it very much. I'm just gonna wait until all this cutscenes end and just end it there. But if there is no ending, I'm just gonna end it right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode or this random game of Edith Finch, the remaining of Edith Finch. If you guys did enjoy this gameplay and would love to see more random games in the future, please stop to do and show this video some love by dropping a like. If you guys did not like the video at all, drop a dislike. Follow me on Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter. Link is down in the description down below. Link of this game as well also in the description. Hit subscribe to become part of the Elite Squad today, and the notification button as well to be notified on future videos. And check out the 2 videos that are popping up on the screen right now. It is your boy Showstopper568 here. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace, my legions. Love ya.